Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. So the question that I ask myself is, how can one maintain a cryptocurrency as a currency when the value is based on supply and demand? So I've been thinking about that, and so basically, if we would take the example of Bitcoin. Okay, so for those who do not know what Bitcoin is a digital money. Basically, it's internet money. You can use a dollar to buy, and you can also trade, meaning you can buy and sell it. So a lot of people, they think Bitcoin will replace the existing currency. For instance, the dollar, the euro. So they are convinced that it will replace, Bitcoin will replace those currencies. And the question that I ask myself is, if it is a currency, okay, if Bitcoin is a currency, how come it is dependent on the supply and demand? So recently, the price of the Bitcoin went down from about 40,000. One Bitcoin was worth 40,000. Then it went down to about 29,000. Okay? So we can explain this one. I'm trying to make sure we understand a little bit the process. So if it is a currency, the price went from 40,000 to 29,000. Okay, and so in this case, if the price goes up, if the price goes down, meaning there is so first it is based on supply and demand. So okay, supply and demand. That's why the price of Bitcoin fluctuates. It goes up and goes down. So when there is a lot of demand, the price go up. Okay? If there is a lot of supplies, the price go down. Okay? So if you get a lot of people buying Bitcoin, the price will go up. If a lot of people are selling Bitcoin, the price will go down. So the price of Bitcoin is dependent on people's ability to sell and to buy. But how can you use this as a currency? If the price is dependent on the supply and demand, how can you maintain it as a currency? Okay, so this is the question that I'm asking myself. Maybe somebody who's well versed into this will be able to answer the question. The currency has to be stable. It's stable, meaning if I buy something for $100, suppose if you lend me $100, okay, and the price of dollars goes down, and I come back, the person comes back for the money, and I give the person $50. But that's not what the person gave me. The person gave me $100. So the person expects me to give them $100 back. But that's not in the case of Bitcoin. Okay? So it is very, very complex. But we're trying to understand if the price is dependent on the supply and demand, how can Bitcoin will be able to replace to be a stable currency? And if we take the example of dollar, the US dollar, okay, it is stable in the sense that if I give you $100 today, 1 month later, a year later, that the $100 will still have its value of $100. But in the long run, yes, there is a decline in the US value, but that's in a very probably 10 years or 20 years. But it's not, but even then the rate is very small, okay, compared to Bitcoin. So the reason I'm struggling to understand this is, in this case, the US government is able to maintain it, or the Federal Reserve, making sure that the dollar, you know, the value of the dollar is maintained, and making sure that basically the Federal Reserve try to make sure there is a balance between how much money is circulating and how much money people are spending. So they're trying to make sure the dollar is maintained through the economy in a very stable way. All right, because that's what. But in the case of Bitcoin, it is just a Wild West. Okay, because if somebody buy 100,000 Bitcoin or 1,000,000 Bitcoin, if the person sells, suppose 10 million Bitcoin, 10 million worth of Bitcoin, $10 million of worth of Bitcoin, it will affect the price of the Bitcoin. So this is something that I'm struggling with. That's why I want to put this video. If somebody has a better understanding, I want to really know about it, because I'm kind of very trying to understand how can we maintain Bitcoin as a currency when it is dependent on the supply and demand, which cause the price of the Bitcoin fluctuates extremely, whether it goes down or up. So is there a question that I put out there? If you have a better understanding, maybe you'll be able to give me some answers. So in the meantime, these are the questions that I'm pondering. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe. You can also comment if you have a different perspective, if you want to add something. Thank you.